Good morning, everyone. This is our first zazenka of the brand new year. I want to wish you a happy new year to everybody. I hope you had great holidays and are well rested. I hope you spent time with your families the best you could in this difficult situation for everyone. Right now we are here in Canada. As you well know, we are going through the peak of the epidemic, so everybody has to make some adjustments, as we have been doing for the past year. And this our online retreats is our attempt to maintain our practice and to continue with our Zen practice on Zoom. And hopefully in this new year, we will be able to go back to sitting together in the same space. So we are returning from the holidays. I kind of want to start there. We're beginning a new year and returning to the holidays. Some of you are returning to work. And maybe we have this idea, now we are returning to Zen practice. And we have to go from holidays to work and go back to being maybe relaxed and not so serious about practice. And now we are back to establishing a kind of serious practice. But when it comes to meditation, I don't know that this is the helpful way of looking at it. I think when we go on a meditation retreat, like we are doing today, it's more like going on holidays. How do we understand holidays? It's a time when you take a break. And in a way, meditation is really that. It's a way of taking a break from all the ordinary delusive states, all the little dramas that we burden ourselves with that actually don't make much sense. It's a way, going on a meditation retreat and practicing meditation is a way of returning to a more peaceful state of mind, a state of existence, a way of understanding, a way of being in which all the things that we are normally bothered with, burdened by, troubled, hurt by, is somehow pacified and put in its proper context. So in that sense, we are not returning from holidays when we go back to Zen practice. In that sense, what we are doing is finding a way to our original mind. It's one of the words that is being used, is original mind or pristine awareness or our true nature. So this was a kind of a first idea I had thinking about today and thinking how we are returning to work now. The holidays are over, we celebrated Christmas and New Year's, and now it's a new year. But actually, when we are coming to a meditation retreat, we are not really returning from holidays. We are finding a way to return to our original mind. And this original mind, it's just a word, but it's a space, it's a way of being in which we are not so easily manipulated by all the little dramas that we experience every day. It is a way of being that transcends those small-minded and petty concerns. And this is what meditation practice is about. It is about finding a way back to that original mind. Finding a way to enjoy our holiday. Today, we are actually on holiday. I don't see this meditation retreats as a time where we have to work very hard. I see it as a time where I can really rest. Although I do have to work a little bit in terms of giving a talk or sometimes giving dokusans, the meditation practice itself is really a way of resting. It's a way of finding peace of mind. It's a way of entering into a space in which all our petty concerns and fears and desires simply don't make sense anymore. And so we can really rest. So in that sense, it's really a holiday. And this is the essence of meditation. And once we do that, once we enter into that space, then understanding comes from that, being there. We can really see once we return to the original mind, then there is understanding there. It's a kind of self-recognition. You simply recognize what is there. And this puts everything in its proper place, in its proper perspective. I think we go about it the wrong way. We try to understand things. We think that by understanding things, we will arrive at the original mind. But it is the other way around. When we arrive at the original mind, at this pristine awareness, you can call it, that's where the understanding comes. And it's self-recognized. You recognize yourself. I hope you understand the difference between recognition and being able to kind of think about something or trying to figure something out, discursiveness. And we put a lot of emphasis in our Zen practice on that. So the question then arises, obviously, why is this difficult? Why do we view our Zen practice or meditation practice or going on retreats as something difficult? Why does it feel like going on a meditation retreat, we require some extra effort? Today we are going to spend a day together, sitting in silence on a holiday, beautiful holiday, mental holiday, physical holiday, holiday from fears and greed and insecurity and all the little daily dramas that we make for ourselves. Why is that difficult? Why should it require some special effort? So that's a very interesting question. And it's not something I particularly need to elaborate on. We are all experts on this. Each one of us can give a talk on this. it's a well trodden topic, how we lose ourselves in all these little things. And for today, as a main topic of this Dharma talk, I've chosen a sutra to start a new year. It's a old Buddhist sutra. It's from the Udana, which is a part of the Pali Canon. And I'm going to paraphrase it because it doesn't make much sense. It's not very interesting for me to be reading this. It's a little bit long. But it goes to this point that I'm talking about. Why is this difficult? And what do we need to do to really be able to enjoy our holiday today? So this happened probably early on in the teachings of Shakyamuni Buddha, because in this sutra, he has a different attendant. As you well know, his principal attendant was Ananda. But here we have a different monk, and his name is Meghiya. And the story goes, in the mid-morning, they went begging together. Meghiya was attending to Shakyamuni Buddha. And when they returned, they had their meal. And then when they finished their meal, Meghiya, he asked Shakyamuni Buddha, on the way back, I'm quoting him, paraphrasing, on the way back from the village, I saw this beautiful grove that looked very conducive for meditation practice. And with your permission now, I would like to go and practice meditation. He asked Shakyamuni Buddha. And to this, Buddha replied, why don't you wait a little bit longer? It's just two of us here. And soon the other monks will come and join us. And when they come and join us, then you can go and practice. But Meghiya was really keen. He really wanted to go. So he asked again, on the way back, I saw this beautiful grove, and I really want to go and practice right now. I don't want to delay anymore. And Shakyamuni Buddha said to him again, it's just two of us here, stay a little bit longer. And soon enough, the monks will arrive, and then it will be appropriate time for you to go. But Meghiya was very insistent. And for the third time he asked, and he said, I found this beautiful place. I really want to go and practice. So then Shakyamuni Buddha said, well, who am I to prevent you from practicing meditation? Please go and practice. If you really want to go, go. So he went and he tried to meditate. But no matter how hard he tried, he had a lot of thoughts which were based in aggression and greed. He couldn't let go of those thoughts. There were a lot of thoughts, very aggressive thoughts, or thoughts thinking about the future, wanting this thing, wanting that thing. And he thought to himself, it is amazing. It is so amazing that I have become a monk. I have walked away from the world and all these concerns. And yet, when I try to meditate, I'm having all these thoughts come up, all these thoughts based in lust and aggression. So he went back. He went back to Shakyamuni Buddha and he said, it is amazing to me, it is surprising, it is astounding that I, who have become a monk and have walked away, am finding it difficult to meditate. I'm having all these thoughts, they're based on aggression and lust. And this is the introduction. I paraphrased a rather long introduction. And this is what Shakyamuni Buddha said to him. And he said, if our minds are immature, we require 5 things in order to bring them to maturity. Basically, if we are unable to practice, if the mind is unruly, there are 5 things which we need to cultivate in order to bring the mind to maturity. And the first of those is, here Meghiya, he says, a monk, he needs to have good friends, good associates, and good companions. When mind is yet immature, Meghiya, this is the first thing that leads to its maturity. We know this. We know that we need a good environment to practice in. We know that we need to associate with people who encourage us in our practice, the people who lead by example and where we feel supported and encouraged and guided by our friends. A bigger picture is that in our lives, and the people we surround ourselves with have a very large effect on our happiness and our own lives and the kind of people we become. So here we explicitly, it is stated, if you wish to practice meditation and wish to be effective in that practice, the first thing you need to look for is good friends and good associates and good companions on the way. And you, for those of you who know me a little bit, you know to what degree I emphasize the Sangha and how essential that is to our ability to practice. And then the second thing is the monk, a bhikkhu, has to practice virtuous moral conduct. This is also something that makes a lot of sense. The nature of the virtuous moral conduct is that it pacifies, it protects us from all the kind of things which bring more chaos and more uncertainty and more just kind of destructive energies into our lives. So in order to be able to meditate, we need to have a stable life, a stable environment. And these 2 things go hand in hand. Good companions, good friends, and being able to practice virtuous moral conduct, they go hand in hand. A good influence in our life. It's easier to have a stable, peaceful, happy life when we are surrounded by good friends rather than we are surrounded by all the destructive energies, and then we engage in those things as well. So this is the second thing that leads to maturity of the mind and maturity of practice. And then the third thing that was recommended was that a monk, a bhikkhu, a practitioner needs to have access to a dharma, meaning here it says at will. Furthermore, Meghiya, a bhikkhu obtains at will, with no trouble or difficulty, the talk that is helpful to opening the mind, which is conductive to the practice. So without any difficulty, when we need some instructions, we can have access to the Dharma. So this is the third thing that is necessary. The fourth thing is that the practitioner has to be energetic, meaning we have to be interested, we have to be keen, we have to be willing to apply those instructions that we have received. We have asked for instructions without any difficulty. We have obtained the genuine teachings through our friends, our companions, our associates. Together we are practicing in a kind of stable and virtuous environment. And now we are eager, keen, and interested to put that into practice. We are not dragging our feet. We are joyous that we have an opportunity to do this now. So this is the fourth thing that was required in order to bring immature practice to a more mature level of practice. And finally, Bhikkhu is wise and endowed with penetrative understanding. So finally, in order to bring the mind from an immature state of practice to more mature practice, of course, we have to develop understanding. So these are the 5 things which were recommended. And I think when we think about our own practice and our own difficulties, I think this is really apt even to this day. And furthermore, so this is now addressing directly the problems that Meghiya experienced during this meditation. And Shakyamuni Buddha said, in addition to this, there are 4 other things that need to be cultivated. And he said, meditation on, this is a little bit difficult to translate now, meditation, if you are overcome with a lot of thoughts based on greed, lust, desire, if your mind is always running toward future and how you're going to get all these things, then one has to meditate on defects of all those things that we want to obtain, to see the harm in them, to see how they're burdening us, to see how they are causing us to suffer. One needs to cultivate loving kindness if one is overcome with thoughts of aggression, for example. So this was the second thing. Meghiya had a lot of angry thoughts when he went and tried to meditate. He wasn't expecting it. He was astounded. He was very surprised that when he sat down to meditate in this beautiful woods, he was very eager to practice, but he found a lot of angry thoughts. So he said, if you find that you are angry, you need to practice loving kindness to overcome that. And then, if we find that we are, for the third thing, if we find that we have a lot of discursiveness, a lot of thoughts, here one should pay attention to one's breathing. So meditation on breath. If you find a lot of discursiveness and unable to concentrate the mind, one should practice, put one's attention on one's breath, which we know that this is the basic meditative technique. And finally, the fourth thing is one should practice, or one should meditate on impermanence in order to loosen the grip of the ego. And the whole Dharma talk can be given just about that, how to meditate on impermanence and why that loosens the ego grasping. For when one perceives impermanence, Meghiya, the perception of non-self is established. When one perceives non-self, the removal of the conceit, I am, is accomplished. and one thus attains nirvana right here and now. So this is a Pali text. The language is a little bit different than Zen language, but so these are the 4 additional things. So I thought this would be a wonderful way for us to start this new year, is to go back to a very old text. This was a section of the Pali Canon, maybe in addition to Dharmapada, the Udana is considered the oldest layer of the Buddhist teachings. But I think it's very apt to us. We can find so many practical instructions here. The 5 things of how to mature practice, what sort of things are important for us to cultivate in order to be able to have effective practice. And then also a very specific instructions depending on what obstacle we are facing and what kind of practice we need to do. Much more can be said, of course, how these different elements work together and how one builds on the previous one. For example, starting with good companions and then establishing a virtuous life, receiving instructions, how these things work together and build one on the next, on the previous one. They finally leads to understanding, leads to, in Zen language, the original mind, the pristine awareness. Our ability to recognize it, to have direct experience, to be introduced to the original mind directly in our practice. But in order to do that, it seems that there are a lot of stuff happens to obscure that original mind. When we talk about aggressive thoughts, a lot of thoughts which are based in greed, it seems that these are the things which are difficult. The meditation itself is not difficult. It's all these other things that seems to sit on top of our original mind that bring this perception of difficulty. Why it's difficult to sit in meditation. Today we are going to sit in meditation. Why is that difficult? It's not that meditation is difficult. It's just that our minds are preoccupied with anger and resentments and desires and fears and insecurities, and we don't know how to go on a holiday. We don't really know how to go on a holiday. So this is my Dharma talk for returning from holiday. We are returning from holiday and we're trying to prolong our holiday today. I hope you have a wonderful day meditating in this virtual environment. I'm certainly happy to see all of you here. And I wish you the very best in this new year. And it is my desire, my hope, that we spend as much time together as we can, maintaining our Zen practice. And maturing the mind. This was the expression from the sutra, how to bring an immature mind to maturity. So together we can mature our mind, our original mind, our pristine mind. We can do that together. Okay, so I will end here and end by reciting the 4 great vows.